Hello guys, this is me, David Cho from DCO123 Music. I'm going to be teaching some music theory. Basically, it's going to be like, I need to clean this up the whiteboard a little more, but basically I'm going to show you that the major key from C is relevant to A minor because it's always two steps and a half step down. So it should be like, so the first of all, the music theory goes like this: whole step, half step. See that? Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. And basically it's just like C, then on the piano, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then there's an octave for 8 is back to C. So basically in an alphabet of the music theory, you'll see C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, Fa, Si, Do. So in between these C and D, there's a whole step. The whole step, a half step, is like one half step, which means for piano music theory, a whole step would mean there's going to be a flat or sharp in between. So, but for guitar fretboards, it's very simpler, or maybe but a little bit harder to play because each fret represents a half step, half step, half step, half step, half step in every little guitar. So for example, I'll draw a guitar layout. You see, this is a guitar fretboard. And it has 6 strings. Okay, hold on. So basically, there's 6 strings and there's about 5 or 6 frets laying out, showing here so far. So this is the fretboard of a guitar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see, there's 6 available frets. And what makes it cool is that for guitar, every little a fret over, this is an E string, A string, G string, D string. No, sorry, other way around. D, G, B, E. So let me just let me just correct myself there for a second. Every adult dog grows big ears. So basically this is an E string, A string, D string, G string, B string, E string. So you make the equivalent note of an E string. So if you had to go here, since the E is only a half step towards the F, E, then that's an F right here, and then that's a whole step for G. So G is like right here, and should be F sharp for this one. This is F, this is G, and you can see here is another whole step. So this is also a G sharp or A flat right here, and the list goes on. And makes a B string. So basically, it goes on and on and on. Oh wait, that should be an A. Sorry, not my bad. A. So every 5 frets, it could go up to an A. So this is an A, and A's have a half step, another half step. So this would be a B, and then the C to D is a whole step, so B flat C. Anyways, this is how it goes. This is just how music theory works in the language of musicians. So if you could see that, it's pretty cool. Now, if you could see the circle of fifths for a second, which I haven't gotten written down, which I won't write down today for this lesson, but a relevant minor to a C major. Major sounds happy, it sounds relevant to A minor. It's happy, it sounds major, it sounds natural, it doesn't sound like it's tweaked. It's basically like major key is like 1, 3, 5. So it is like 1, 3, 5. A whole step, half step, whole step. A whole step, half step, and a whole step. So it's just basically, that's what a major key looks like. And it is a C, E, and G. As you can see here, I don't know if you can see this properly, but I just tried my best here. It's a little mirrored, I know for sure. And a minor key is usually like, for example, this is a major C, a minor A would mean there'd be like 1, 3, flat, 5. And that means it should be A, C, E. And minors are usually like A, C, E. So you put that there, a flat. So far, this is what we learned about. Now, I'm not 100% sure. I'm an amateur teacher, so I'm not the very best. If you want to see how the A minor works, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then eventually A. This is an A minor. So A minors are usually like whole step. It's the other way around. Instead of 2 whole steps and 3 whole steps, and 1 half steps and 1 half step, there's whole, half, whole, and then there's the octave. So it's usually like the other way around. Since there's 2 whole steps in the beginning, 3 whole steps at the end. For here, the minor is 3 whole steps in the beginning, and there's 2 whole steps at the end, and then there's an octave. Also, we'll mention something about perfect fourth and perfect fifth. C, and then another fifth for that would be a perfect fourth, because it's a whole. It's a whole, but I'm not saying that that's a major second, and that could be a major third. So that's a C major. C major is like Jesus, let me just think. C is definitely certainly for C major. E major. Well, I forgot what I was gonna say. Anyways, I was gonna mention perfect fourths and fifths. I just dropped my pen. Damn it. Let me just look for that. So basically, there's a perfect fourth and a perfect fifth. Right here, you see C, perfect fourth is F, and a perfect fifth is G, and then that means this is a unison, P4, P5, dominant 7 is B, and then back to octave is octave is Jesus, this is getting really hard because I don't have editing skills. C is an octave, and how that works is because there's 2 whole steps here, and that's a major second, so, and a major third. But there's a whole here, minor fourth, no, P perfect fourth, and perfect fifth, and a major 6, major 7, and an octave. This is the unison because it's the same as the corresponding note. There you have it. I mean, I could do better teaching, but this is all I got to teach right now. Now I'm gonna do some explaining, okay? If you can see this board right here, this is basically music theory. I'm gonna put a part 2 in this video because it's already been 10 minutes, but we're gonna do a lot of learning today. I might make another YouTube channel just based on music theory, but I'm gonna upload this to my DCR123 music account anyways. I haven't done a lot of background detail explaining, but it's 3 a.m. right now, so this video might not be the best teaching. It might be very amateur, but this is basically what it is in music theory looks like. And that's the guitar fretboard. We'll take a look at the piano later. Thank you.